Double Fine Productions has a history of mixing things up and creating very original properties in the video game space. Their latest game is called Headlander, and this is something that I checked out with a visit to Double Fine earlier this year. I was very surprised by the kind of crazy 70s sci-fi vibe of this game, and I was looking forward to how this thing would evolve. It's a side-scrolling Metroidvania. They make no excuses or apologies for the fact that this is, something that's a very popular, very populated trope in the video game space, or genre in the video game space. But it's an effectively designed game. Part of it is the storytelling, where you play this human head that can come off of these robot bodies, and from the beginning of the game you are really kind of imbued with the idea that you may be the only surviving human body part in the universe, or at least in the universe of this game, and you're trying to uncover what the hell went down and why there are all these robots and why there are no other humans around. And so you sort of have to uncover this mystery. You're sort of faced with these robot sentries that are run by a sort of an AI creation called Methuselah, and you run across this voice that you hear in your head from a character named Earl.
Don't worry, I'll talk you through it. Name's Earl, by the way.
And he's kind of guiding you along and sort of suggesting places for you to go within the map, which is a very familiar kind of Metroid type of design, where you see a little icon that you got to get to, but you have to kind of figure out security doors, and there's parts of the map that you may have to sort of rip your head off and fly around as a little head through tunnels and stuff. You get a ton of little power-ups and things like that as you go along. And, just as a core design, it's pretty solid, because it's, borrowing from so many iterations of this kind of idea. There are so many examples of, traversing and then retraversing and then becoming more powerful, and suddenly new areas of a map are available to you. All of that stuff we know, we love. And we've done it before, and that's nothing that you can get super, super excited about, especially when you've seen games like Ori and the Blind Forest, which, also borrow from this kind of idea, but did it with such, painterly majesty. It was just such a beautiful, gorgeous, sumptuous game. And this isn't quite at that pedigree. I think that it's stylistically really sweet, and I think if you're a fan of movies like Silent Running, or, the idea of post 2001 Kubrick kind of movie universe, you kind of get that in here. A little Logan's Run, which is great. You even get the VHS burn as you're getting from loading screens and stuff like that. Lots of this sort of almost pseudo 3D, kind of displacement with the colors on the different characters. And, there's shields on enemies that you can also acquire later on that sort of glow in this weird kind of like you're burning into the VHS tape kind of way. I loved all of that. I loved the kind of retro 50s kind of robot designs that that you would run into every once in a while, which are particularly useless robots, but they have like little roller skates on them. And there are lots of cool different variations in the firing mechanics of these robots. Some of them will have tri-blaster lasers. Some of them will have doubles or singles that will bounce everywhere. Some of them could just punch really hard and have some shields on them. You basically have to use your puzzle-solving skills to pick the right robots for the right place, and they have to be the right sort of colored sentry to allow you to unlock doors. And you're always on the lookout for these little escape hatch tunnels and stuff like that that will allow you to find secrets and power-ups to make yourself more powerful and get new abilities, like the ability to zip fast as the human head and have this kind of jet engine propulsion that ends up being a bit of an offensive attack later on in the game. Listen, I was hooked with the game design. It was tight. It just felt fun to play this. And then you put that extra layer of, kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There are lots of penis-shaped spaceships and robot faces and things like that in there. There is this sort of comedy gloss in there. The doors are hilarious. They're always back-talking you. If you've got the wrong color, they will always sass you out. It was always interesting to hear those doors.
Fine, red access confirmed. Why do I even bother being thorough?
And then there's just this extra layer of intelligence in the design and the storytelling. That sort of adventure pedigree shines through in this game. It's a very, very solid escape. It's a great Double Fine Productions game, and if you're a Metroidvania fanatic at all, and you probably are if you're watching this review, I think you're going to get a blast out of Headlander. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Hey, thanks for checking out that video on our EPN channel. It's just one small part of the things that we make around here. So if you liked it, don't forget to check out some of our other vids and hit that subscribe button.